What's been going on? Have you had any human design topics come up this week? Last 2 weeks. We haven't seen it in 2 weeks.
Oh, that's right. Um, I guess I've been thinking a little bit about, well, I guess that's a good question, is it? I've thought a little bit about some of the leadership ideas that I had sent you. And I've also thought about, so those questions would be, how do you know? Yeah, what does human design tell us about leadership? But then at the same time, I've been thinking about, what do we use human design for? And even that question itself is questionable. Um, but yeah, like what are we doing as humans? What is the point? And for me, human design has always almost been like a permission slip for things be easy. Like it doesn't have to be hard. So like this morning I went to this motivational gathering and they seemed to think that if you really cared about yourself, that you would deprive yourself of things or be tougher on yourself, this idea. And I wasn't sure how to speak up, but I could tell they were really trying, to live intentionally. And even just talking about it is a step in discovering how you can live life with ease and in presence. And that I think it's trying a bunch of living the hard way that lets you realize that didn't actually work. And what did work is, well, that's usually when I am in a sense of flow with myself and I'm leaning into my strengths and I am working together with other people in a natural sense of rhythm and harmony. And I think human design is just a phenomenal tool for finding your way in those very healthy, easeful, joyful, rewarding, fulfilling choices, actions. Yeah. So there's a long answer for you.
The thing, while you're talking about that, the thing that it brought out of me is cosmology.
Okay.
And I don't think it's something that a lot of analysts go into, but it was the
Mhm.
first thing that I went into. It
Okay.
just pulled me into it. And I made the Rave Cosmology timeline because of those 9 courses. And uh, I think it's why I can't think of anything in life
Hmm.
without thinking about human design, because human design is this whole package. You can get your strategy and authority and just be fine and not need to know anything about any of the other stuff.
Hmm.
But there's so much that it adds to life. So one thing is in human design, uh, at the Big Bang, that the Big Bang was a conception,
Okay.
and that all humans are cells in the brain of an unborn child.
Is that the foundational belief of human design? Hold on. So you said that according to Ra and human design, all humans are cells, you said in the
Like
brain,
cells.
like
Yep.
cells in the brain of an unborn child? Can you explain?
And that we are the ajna. We're currently the so at the Big Bang there was, it's not yin and yang, but it's kind of like yin and yang. It's banned in two,
Hmm.
and they juxtaposed, they met in space, and that was like the conception. And those two things shattered into gazillions and gazillions and gazillions of pieces.
Okay.
And in one of those things, there was something embedded inside of it, and it broke up into an equal number of pieces, and it went into its counterpart in the bigger thing, and that's called a magnetic monopole in the design crystal. So the magnetic monopole is embedded in the design crystal, And
Hmm.
then there's all the personality crystals.
Okay.
And those at the Big Bang, all of the personality and design crystals that were going to lead to an incarnation of a human were
Yeah.
already decided at that point.
Okay.
And we went through single cell organism through, and we did that somewhere else off Earth before we came to Earth.
Okay.
So there's these personality crystal bundle and design crystal bundle. They were somewhere else. And then we came
Okay.
here and we actually didn't, when we made it to the solar system, we didn't even come to Earth first. I think we stopped
Yeah.
in Neptune first before we came here.
Okay.
That's the personality, and the personality crystal bundle is a sheath around Earth, and the
Okay.
design crystal bundle is inside the core in the middle of the Earth. And it's like a ball
Hmm.
of yarn. So the
Okay.
design crystals, they they're time dependent. They only
Mhm.
live once, and they're dependent on the time that it's incarnated. Your design crystal that you have now and my design crystal that I have
Yeah.
now, they're only used once, and they when we die, they go back into the middle of the earth, and they're not used again.
Okay.
Personality crystals that sheath around the outside of the earth, that sits on top of our head, that's
Hmm.
what reincarnates all the time, over and over again. Was
Okay.
in the insects, was in the plants, was in the amphibians,
Yeah.
reptiles, and fish, and in the mammals before we became humans. It
Yeah.
doesn't really care about the vehicle. It can be in any vehicle.
Yeah. That's
And
cool.
so when just like a developing child in a womb, if the neural connections uh, happen and it's in an
Hmm.
environment where neural connections are allowed to develop,
Hmm.
then that child, when it's born and grows up, is going to be a lot smarter than if circumstances prevented those neural connections from developing
Okay.
and using more of the brain.
Yeah.
And so every time we bring connection and love to
Hmm.
divisive situation,
Yeah.
we're making that future being that's going to be born in 2 billion years a lot smarter and capable and it's a she when she grows up.
Wow. I've
So
never
it's
heard
kind
that
of like
before.
our responsibility to be learning about ourselves and each other and making connections
Yeah.
instead of getting mad and fighting and mining.
Yeah. Well,
And
that is
so
certainly a new,
so
fresh
that
perspective.
that's a total most people wouldn't say that about human design, but that whenever and it takes a long time to explain all that. You know a lot of this stuff, so you're understanding what I'm saying, but maybe somebody that's never heard any of this stuff would be like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
Well, but for me, that's just another example of human design being kind of what we make it. You know, it doesn't take away our own agency to make choices and to find out what's valuable to us, to experiment. It is expressly, human design is an experiment. It's an invitation to experiment in life and explore these ideas and see if we can find value in applying them. And you don't have to, like, I never needed to know that origin story.
Right.
In fact, it could be distracting.
Totally.
So it's not necessary, but it doesn't make it not interesting or not something else to consider and say, hey, does that, does that feel like it helps me? Does that resonate? What can I take from that? And I mean, I think that's what the whole inquiry into any kind of astrology or any typing system really is, hey, does this help me know myself? And do I appreciate do I notice an improvement or a wisdom in my choices as I explore this new way of thinking?
Yeah. Rock called all that stuff that I was talking about gray matter,
Okay.
because it's not provable. It's not relevant. It's not necessary. But to me, it
Okay.
adds magic to everything. And you know, that little personality crystal that we have,
Yeah.
uh, it goes through all these incarnations to learn and grow.
Hmm.
And so everybody that's here, all 10 billion of us have been learning and growing through incarnation after incarnation after incarnation. And that personality crystal is growing also.
Okay.
And there will be a splitting kind of half of the ones that did really well in growing in all these incarnations over 15 billion years
Mm-hmm.
or 18 billion years, whatever, uh, uh, have one path and the other
Yeah.
path has a different path. And they're both awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and one is like this 2 billion years of living off of the sun's rays and the love that comes from the sun and having a totally different experience of life. It's called the Aeron. But I don't know. How is it relevant to the discussion about human design? I've it's there's something that makes that come out of me. It's not
Okay.
me. It's not my
Yeah.
brain. My brain
Sure.
looks at that and goes, "That's dumb.
Well,
You're going to
honestly,
make a decision based off of that." But I feel like the thing that that sacral motor that's in me is, and Ross said this in some place, whenever we have a defined center, it's like having a direct connection to the mother, the womb, the mother of the womb, the
yeah.
one with the womb that we're in. It's like
Yes.
having a direct connection to her.
Okay.
And so
Huh.
I say mother when I talk, and that is her talking to me. That's what I get.
Okay. It's almost like, I guess I would view God that way sometimes.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It's very similar.
Hmm.
And I don't know why I've chosen that. I was given that, by my family, and I usually use it, but I don't always. Sometimes I'll refer to a great
Well, there's a
spirit
father too.
or
If there's a mother, there's a father out there.
absolutely. Yeah.
They all matter.
Yeah, and they all kind of give a different feeling too.
Uh-huh.
So I think it's helpful to have different feelings, like different colors, or that we have so many emotions that the more sometimes the tools that are complex or multifaceted can address different needs. So
Mhm.
I like to call them mother versus father sometimes, they do different things.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I like the idea that part of us has incarnated many times and part of us only lives once. That's a really cool idea. I definitely felt like incarnation must be real on some level. I think it's kind of hard to deny that based on
Especially because you're
stories.
karmic, so you have access. But the thing is, there never has been a Jessica before, and there will never be a Jessica again.
Right.
Jessica's personality crystal has all these different costumes and
It's true. There will never be another one quite like this one. Cheers to that.
cheers. I'll drink to that. And then so leadership. I feel like leadership it's definitely in the chart, the 731. It's next to your 1-8,
Yeah,
and it's the voice of leadership. Uh, the channel of that, or the alpha has that
right.
on both sides, the Sphinx. But an alpha will always have that. And so there are some things in nature that will make us leaders, but
Yeah.
uh, the nature of leadership has changed
Hmm.
a lot. In for before a couple hundred years ago, the world population was under a billion, probably.
Yeah.
And now we're over 10 billion. So we can't have that same kind of manifester, do this type of leadership.
Hmm.
Uh, we need this distributed type of leadership where like a projector knows a system and guides generators. to get things done through loving questions where they know the answer, but you don't tell the answer and
Is that
like
what I'm supposed to do? Ask loving
yeah,
questions where I know the answer, but I don't say it. Is that
yeah,
my job as a projector?
yeah, that's how that's kind of a mechanism that's one of your superpowers is you can assess a person.
Hmm.
You tap right into their G center of a generator. You tap right into our G center,
Hmm.
and you. I'm sure. I don't know how. There's lots of other pathways that you're getting, so it's not just
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
But that's one mechanism that you have is to see a generator, and if they're wanting to know about your system, you already know the whole system and the answer, and you even though you know the answer instead of telling them the answer, you ask them questions, yes, no questions that get them to realize that the answer was already in them too. And when you're in aura contact, there's a lot more happening between the two beings than what we're saying. And you're getting stuff that way just through the aura because you have fifth tone
Hmm.
and you're individual. So you're acoustic, you have an acoustic mind, you hear stuff that other people don't hear.
Yes. It just seems
Uh,
to get more intense with time. I hear more and more. I feel like I hear more than I used to.
I saw something somewhere that said if you haven't dealt with your crap, you're not going to have your. I think they were talking about rishis, like or siddhas. Cities. Cities are the yogic superpowers that you get when you deal with all your karma and
Yeah.
your life and uh, through practice you can achieve certain things that are natural gifts that you have.
Oh, yeah.
Things like levitation or bilocation or like
Right.
those
That's
are
right. I've
called,
heard about
I
that.
think, cities, Siddhi.
HI.
That's,
Yeah. And Richard Rudd uses the word cities, I think,
oh,
a
does
lot.
he? Okay. I don't know much about
Every,
his stuff.
yeah, I mean, because he's kind of dealing with similar gates,
Hmm.
as you see in human design, but he gets into each of them at like three different levels. And the highest level, like if you embodied the highest potentiality of this particular gate, then he talks about those as cities. Um,
Okay, that
so
makes
that
sense.
just came up for me this weekend. Someone was asking about gene
Interesting.
keys, and I was like, okay, I haven't had anybody ask about that in a while. And yes, cities. So there's so many different gifts that can
Yeah.
be attained,
Hmm.
but by moving through, lower consciousness levels of different trials, human trials, personal
Yeah,
trials.
deconditioning and
Yeah.
all the stuff about being in the wrong place at the wrong time and getting the wrong input. So there's all these misunderstandings and
Oh.
mistaken beliefs and thought forms that
Whew.
come out of those things. Ooh, girl, I saw that.
That's right, it compounds. If you're not in the right place at the right time, the distractions just start mounting,
Hmm.
which is all the more reason to practice your own spiritual disciplines, which is why we're here talking about human design.
Hmm.
For me anyway, for me this is a very much a spiritual practice.
Absolutely. Uh,
You were talking
and
about cities.
even though it wasn't designed as a spiritual practice, it feels that way to me. I mean, maybe not designed. It wasn't. Ra didn't want to. He wanted to focus on it, the logical system that it is, and so
Okay.
the gray matter and some of these things. I don't know how much he talked about it later in the trainings. Like, I don't know if
Mhm.
it's in IHDS, some of the content from like the 90s.
Okay.
Uh,
So he saw it as a logical system,
yes,
like that, like we
the
could apply
strategy
it
and
like very deliberately and diligently to learn how. like, because it's called mechanics, right? The mechanics of,
Yes.
I guess, how we should behave. Would he use that language? Because I don't like shitting on other people. I don't
Yeah.
usually use that, but I wonder if he saw it that way as a should.
uh he called himself a mechanic.
Hmm. So it would be his
And
recommended behavior, a course of action is how he would, is that how would he view it? I'm not as familiar with him directly.
uh it was more that I can't even talk about it without being mystical or something, because
Okay.
you have to surrender to whatever that is in me for you. You have to surrender to the invitation. You can't let your mind make you take action and do something without having that invitation there.
So it's very tied to the breath because you have to be connected to your breath and in your body before you're going to get correct um, suggestions, correct insights.
Yep. And the invitations should be accompanied with some recognition
Hmm.
and appreciating what it is that you do and what they're about to ask you, invite you to do.
You're talking about me specifically
For
as
any
a
projector.
projector.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a projector.
Uh, and how hard it is to, especially when you first get started, to
Hmm.
have any change in your life. You sit around and what are you going to do? Sit in your bed all day long? And I haven't had an invitation, so I can't do anything. And that's why the stuff, I don't know if when you were talking about Richard and the cities, that makes
Yeah.
me think Ra talked about the way that the poetry of the I Ching, the way that he wrote it.
Mhm.
It's almost like there's another version of it, the city version of it, that exists for a group of people that is born and raised according to the mechanics of consciousness. Then a lot of the stuff that's challenging or sounds difficult in the phrasing and the way it says it, that you don't have that kind of an experience of it anymore. That level of consciousness, like you said, it's a lower, maybe a
Mhm.
lower vibration or something. It's just
Mhm.
not there anymore because uh, it's in the higher octave.
Yeah. So Ra's talking about how it's going to evolve, like humans will evolve and their
I don't
experience.
know if he wrote another version of it.
Okay.
Um,
If Ra did,
yeah, I don't know if he did or not.
yeah,
Um, but I think the way that he wrote it was kind of this transition period that we're in.
yeah.
Uh, and the seven centered frequency is still very strong. And I think he said it was supposed to end in 2100. So we've still got another 75 years, 74 years of that
Yeah.
still lingering.
Hmm.
Uh, but I think there's so much about conception mechanics
Yeah.
that is going to be required to get humanity through issues with fertility and reproduction. I think he anticipated that human design would be like the only way you could conceive and
Oh,
carry a
really?
child to term, or that it was going to help. I think others, there are people I know. The head of the PHS was Andrea Reichel Wolf. She's a geneticist in Austria,
Hmm.
and I think she probably has the most information and insight about all that and who's doing what. I can't, there's,
Specifically with human design and fertility treatments?
yeah,
Huh.
because like for example, when a egg is fertilized
Hmm.
or the egg allows the sperm that it's going to receive to fertilize it, that um, that whatever it's called at that stage has to be in the space in this, it has to make aura contact with a 59.6
Okay.
in order for the process to move forward.
Okay.
And uh so somebody has sex and then they're out in life going to
Yeah.
work and stuff, and they're gonna bump into the 59.6. It's all over the place. And
Right.
that's what actually triggers
Interesting.
the birth, the conception to
Yeah.
occur. And uh well, yeah. So that is one thing in the whole and all the different things that can happen in the conception mechanics that I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know how many people know about that. But it seems like it would be for people that are struggling, especially with like COVID and people staying home and
Yeah.
you get pregnant and you don't want to get catch anything, so you're not around.
Right.
I guess if you're already pregnant, then you don't have to be around the 59.6. But yeah, I don't, maybe that could affect if people are staying home and they don't have the 59.6 in the house, then
Yeah.
sex is going to lead to conception less frequently. I don't know what that tangent why that came out, but anyway.
I don't know. We definitely are living in interesting times where we're asking kind of new questions. And I think it's interesting to see what human design can help us with.
Seems like everything. I mean, it doesn't, the answers, what has to be done comes from us, and how it's going to get done comes from us.
Hmm.
Uh, the human design is more of like the how, but it's really just type and inner authority, strategy and authority. I mean,
Yeah.
none of the other stuff matters. The names of the gates, the
Right.
activations, none of it really matters because if you're living according to your strategy and authority, that's not predicted in the thing. It's kind of like we were talking about last time with the incarnation cross. You don't
Hmm.
you don't go do those things. It's more in reflection back on your life. You see, oh yeah, those things made that. That's a good way to describe my life.
Yes, exactly. More like a
Eulogy.
signal feed it gives you feedback, I think, saying that you must be on the right track. But
Yeah, I
a
like that. That
signpost.
was one thing that Rod talked about was signposts.
Hmm.
And that was kind of a mystical thing that uh it's like Divine Mother, Divine Father have ways to uh where we can recognize what's happening
Hmm.
from a different perspective, not our little tiny earthling perspective. Every those grand moments of like, oh, this is important.
Yeah.
Like when you have those things, you go, oh.
When you feel it.
I can feel it. Look at, I got goosebumps thinking about you doing that.
Yeah. It's real.
To me, that's that to me is like the magic of life somehow. I don't know what it is, but
Hmm.
I see it. It happens to me too every once in a while, and I'm just like, oh, thank you. That's why I'm alive. I want to have that feeling all the time that everything matters and everything's right, and it's all signposts everywhere. And
Yeah.
if I don't see them, I stop. I'm like, okay, how did I get here?
Yeah.
I'm not seeing, I'm not feeling. There's I gotta trace my steps back.
Well, and I actually learned something from this conversation already as far as, if you're not seeing something, then you're you're dealing with confusion. You're getting signals that don't pertain to what you need. So I always and my I like to use someone taught me a while ago, the tool that the universe abhors a vacuum. So if you can't see a very clear next course of action, if you just stay still, you know, then the universe one doesn't like that very much. If you create like a stillness, it will try to tempt you out, you
I
know?
like the way that you describe that because there is a pressure that you feel, especially us being individual and waiting for
Hmm.
that next mutation, that next thing to happen. When's the next thing going to happen?
Hmm.
Uh, the mind gets a hold of that and says, I've got to do something about it, and moves when the cosmos was just bringing that thing to you. It was bringing something for the vacuum,
Right.
and
I'm
you
like,
just
okay,
moved out of the way and you missed it.
I'm
And
just gonna
then a
hold
whole bunch,
really still. The carousel can keep going, and I'm just gonna wait until, it rolls out a carpet for me.
uh-huh. Yeah. It's if I don't have that feeling, I'm not moving. I've gotten so patient. I don't and
Hmm.
I maybe not, yeah, I'm more patient with other people than I used to be, for sure. Uh I can be impatient sometimes, but it's much easier to be patient because I'm like, okay, if I move, I'm gonna miss the awesome thing that's on its way already. So I'm just gonna sit here. And having that expectation, I don't know, that feels like it makes more of a vacuum.
Yes. The expectation that I was like, oh no, don't go chasing it. Just create a vacuum and then yeah, it
I
will
like that.
come. Just make a stronger one, right? The longer
Uh-huh.
like the wave, right, retreats, the more wave you're building up. So no
Hmm.
worries, just keep intensifying it until you know you got the right wave.
Yeah, and until then, make art
Mhm.
or dance or make an app.
Like you're making.
Oh my gosh, it's so amazing. It's blowing me away.
Cool. Good. Very good. That's exciting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, I was gonna tell another story, but I don't think I should. It wouldn't be a good thing for, yeah, stay positive all the time.
Yeah. Yes.
So what else?
Hmm.
You went somewhere.
I did.
You went on, did you have any experiences that were human design related?
Hmm. That's a good question. I mean, I think I'm always practicing, wax on, wax off, and experimenting because I'm self-projected. I know I have to hear myself. So usually it's a bit stronger if it's actually like auditory, like I'm actually speaking and hearing rather than just writing something. Um, so yeah, we ran into some challenges in life as has happened sometimes, but I've got a stronger habit of talking out loud, which is my strategy, so that I can hear what is true and what isn't true, and then I don't have to make sense of it. I can just hear, oh, that is true for me, and run with that. And that's the most fundamental human design practice there is to know what is true and to be sure that we're doing whatever the practice is to find our truth.
Yeah. Uh, and because you're so right oriented, all the stuff that you're taking in
Hmm.
isn't necessarily for you.
Because
There's
I'm right
somebody else.
oriented,
Yeah.
like
Because
left angle. That's not left angle cross. This is totally different. Okay.
this is the arrows,
Oh
the four
yeah.
arrows.
Okay.
You've got three that point right.
Okay.
And so it's pulling in, it's receptive.
Yeah.
And it's like it's going into a well. I think you might even have the 16. But it's going into a well,
Mhm.
and somebody will come along at some point on your fractal
Oh,
and they're there to pick it up. And that's why you need to be in
absolutely.
the right place at the right time. So you pick
To
up all
give
the
them the
right stuff
thing
for the
that I
people that are
picked
going to
up.
pick it up later. Because if they come to pick it
Oh,
up and you don't have it or it's distorted, then
yeah. Sometimes I was like, oh, I almost picked that up. It would be really useful if I had actually picked it up, given I walked by it and touched it, looked at it, was like, what am I going to do with that? And kept going. And 10 minutes later, someone asked me for it. I was like, yep,
I got even got goosebumps for that because even that's a signpost.
that happens to me regularly. Oh, okay, that is really helpful to understand a little bit better. Yes, I'm always picking up things. They're not always for me. And I didn't know that was part of my design, essentially, is to collect things and then be sure that I'm in flow enough to deliver them to whomever that is.
And everybody has some rightness in their chart, even quad lefts.
Okay.
There's other activations in the chart. There's going to be some right activations in there
Yeah.
somewhere. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody that's all completely one, two, three, everything.
Yeah.
Um, so there's always some receptivity. So there's always some part of us that is picking up stuff that's
Hmm.
so even if you're I don't know, you're taking a class and it's for this thing and it's that's your career or whatever, there's all these other things happening around that. And as long as you're focused on doing what you're supposed to do and being in the right place at the right time,
Yes.
all these other things that you're not even aware that you're pulling in and
Yes.
receiving and getting stored away, that's the kind of stuff that's for somebody else. It'll come out of your mouth. This happens to me all the time where stuff comes
Hmm.
out of my mouth. I'm like, how did, yeah, I was in that place where that was being discussed, but I wasn't even paying attention. And it
Yeah.
somehow it got into me and
Yeah.
was available to give out to somebody else. I'm like, I've never thought that before. I don't know if I've even heard anyone say that before, but
Yeah.
I know I picked it up somewhere. It's not me.
Yeah. All the more reason to not try to understand what you're doing, just to feel that it's right for you and then let go of the understanding part and just but
Yep.
make sure you show up for what you're supposed to show up for
Yep.
because that's your assignment. Hmm. But you
I
have to
said,
know the difference about what feels true and right and your own because
because you're
that's
picking up more than what you know you're picking up. So
yeah,
make sure it is true and correct for you to be there
yeah,
because you're getting more. Who knows what else you're getting while you're.
yes. So I definitely have been practicing talking out loud and listening to myself because that is my best understanding of my personal strategy.
And even it feels like as you're talking about it, it feels like that's almost like what my is. Like
Oh,
I can tell if it's a fake or
mm-hmm,
uh. It has to feel true. It has to feel like me.
mm-hmm.
It can't be this other pressure coming from someplace else. Yeah, it comes out instead of down.
I'll hear it and then I'll get chills.
Mm,
Or else I can just hear the way I say it. Like you said, it's acoustic for me.
mm.
I'll be like, yep. Or sometimes I'll say something and I'll be like, yeah, that was not true. That's me trying to make something true or me considering something that is not relevant or usually even before I say it, I can feel if it's not there to be said.
Yeah, I think that's more evolved than the grunts that I make.
I don't know. I kind of wish I could do it solo better, but it's really more powerful when I'm doing it with someone else, which is not super convenient, but it might be healthy.
Are you tied into any other human design groups?
No, I mean, there's one person in this valley that knows I know human design who I run into at the gym sometimes. I mean, I think I'm members of groups online, but I'm not participating currently. I talk to AI about human design, but I know it's got errors, so I'll often, just use Google and check sources and stuff. Um, but so no, it's probably the
I
most,
try to follow Jovian, what's happening at Jovian Archive.
yeah.
There's a movie coming out they've been working on for a little over a year. It's called the
Okay.
4%
Okay.
Experiment, I think. 4% Project, 4% Experiment, something like that.
What's 4% about?
Ra said that 4% of humans would hear about human design,
Okay.
and 4% of that 4% would do something with it.
Yeah.
Uh, so that's one thing that always made it easier to just keep my mouth shut.
Yeah.
If anybody really wants to know, they'll ask something. I don't,
Yeah.
it's all over me all the time. I can't
Yes.
not say human design.
Yes.
So if they want to know more, I'm I'll talk all day, but if they don't ask, I'm not saying a word.
Yeah.
It
I'm
never
that way
goes
with the
well.
I'm that way with the cards too.
Yeah,
I've been doing a lot of card stuff, but it's just with myself and my own experiments for the most part.
I love the combination of the two
Me too.
because the cards have the cycles in them, and that's not really, there are, there's the solar return, there's a lunar return, there's a Saturn return, they're the returns,
Yeah.
but uh I don't know. I like the cards how they reveal other patterns.
Yeah, they're so precise. I don't
I
know.
think because of the way you are picking up stuff you don't even know you're picking up,
Hmm.
it makes it super precise for you. I don't know if other people are the same, using them the same way and having the same kind of results as you do because they're not as right oriented and they're not a projector and whatever.
Yeah. Also, I, I've studied it enough. Like I know the different authors and I know their biases, and it's really helpful to know what the bias is. Yeah. What proves true over time, what it does not, you know. Um, yeah, I don't know. I could probably write. I don't know if I don't have enough to write about it clearly yet, but I'm at least talking about it more, and um, I think it's helpful and it will have its place whenever the time is right for that. So, certain lately I've been guessing cards, people's cards more often. It's fun to try to guess.
Yeah, I like guessing because if somebody sits here and talks, they will tell me their type, their profile.
The profile's easier than any of them, I think,
Yeah,
because they give you their advice. I'm like, okay, they just had to go experiment. They've definitely got a third line, maybe a sixth. Are they really trying to be an example, or are they
yeah,
just trying things out?
yeah.
Like, no, they're just trying things out. Okay, now how are they going about it? Do they want to have a
Yeah,
one-on-one conversation? No, they're out in the group. It's like, no, are they looking things up on their own? You can get to profile pretty quickly.
I love
Is it
it.
easy to talk to them? Oh, wait, we might be the same. Are we
Yeah.
having to translate everything? They are not the same. Is it kind of there? Okay, maybe we have one number in common. Wonder what number that is.
So you're 5'1", I'm 4'6".
Mm-hmm.
Five and the one. The one with the four is how we have a harmonic, I guess.
I mean, I think we're just true to the forms.
Yeah, to the mechanics.
Yeah,
I think that's a good point. Uh, that's how it's supposed to be.
but it's a different level of mastery.
Uh-huh. It's kind of like what we were talking about. We're on the
Yeah,
way up. Yeah.
which is also what makes it interesting and rich because we can fill in. each other's kind of gaps. And if we can stack it correctly, then we can actually fill in a lot of details.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mhm. Yeah, it does for me.
Okay. Well, it was awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.